Hi, good morning. Hi, I'm Paul Begley. What's going on? What's going on? Let me quickly move along with this. Pakistan has just had a flood in Peshawar, Pakistan. Monsoon rains came. They normally come, but these rains came in a particular area that created a flood so devastating that 400,000 Pakistanis are stranded and their homes are being destroyed, and they're literally in one of the worst floods since 1929. 60 confirmed deaths, and the total is going to go higher. Where? Pakistan. Now think about this, man. Just yesterday, the worst flood in 10 years happened in China, and there's been numerous deaths there. And if that's not enough, let's just think for a minute. In the last 4 months, can I focus with you just a minute? Is God trying to get our attention? Think about it. We had the BP oil spill 101 days ago, the worst disaster in the history of America, as this oil spill put over 200 million gallons of oil in the Gulf of Mexico. The water turned red like a dead man's blood. The fish died, the pelicans, the dolphins, the whales, the shrimp, the oysters, everything. It's just awful. Acid rain killing some of the plant life along the Barian Islands. Birds have been found dead. There's all kinds of problems. People are having problems with their breathing, asthma. There's a lot of issues. Economic ruin down there on the coast. Tar balls washing up on the beaches of Pensacola and Panama City, Destin, Florida. Even a sheen has been smelt and seen off the coast of Tampa Bay. So that's the BP oil spill. We also had a Haiti earthquake. Remember that? 6 months ago. The most devastating earthquake in the history of Haiti happened when? This year. Also, the worst flood in Nashville, Tennessee history happened when? This year. The worst flood in Des Moines, Iowa history happened when? 2 days ago. When an entire dam that was built in 1927 completely collapsed, wiping out a 9-mile radius lake and destroying the area there in Des Moines, Iowa. China had the worst flood in 10 years. When? Yesterday. Pakistan has the worst flood since 1929. When? Today. And what else is going on? Just about a month ago, there was an earthquake. Where? Washington, D.C. Washington, D.C. had a tremor, had a quake of 3.6 on the Richter scale, right underneath the Capitol. And oh, by the way, we've had plane crashes. We had a horrible crash in Russia, which killed all 87 people on board, including the president of Poland. And then we also had in India a plane crash killing 160. We had a train crash killing 73. We had another plane crash when? Yesterday in Pakistan, 152, all of them dead, including a spiritual prayer leader of the Muslim faith. If that's not enough going on, we've had wars and rumors of wars. That's right, we've had North Korea sinking a warship of South Korea for no reason in the Yellow Sea, killing 46 of their sailors. We've had uprising in Kyrgyzstan. We've got a war right now going on in Irac with the United States and the Allied forces there fighting against the Al-Qaeda and the different insurgents being supported by the Iranians. And also in Afghanistan, we have a war going on with the United States and the Allied forces in NATO, including nations like Britain, Canada, Australia, Poland, Romania, all supporting the NATO alliance against who? The Taliban, who both the Taliban and Al-Qaeda are tied to the 9/11 attacks here in the United States at New York City. And if that's not enough going on, wars, rumors of wars, we've got Israel in a serious turmoil conflict with those Palestinians that live on the Gaza Strip. We've had the flotilla raid, the ship that came from Turkey that tried to just bust through the blockade and ended up 10 people being killed there when the Israeli soldiers took the boat. If that's not enough, we've got all of these issues happening almost simultaneously, and people say to me, well, I don't believe in the Bible. I don't believe nothing's going to ever happen. You know, I've been hearing about that all my life. You might have been hearing about it all your life, but you don't understand that we're nearing the end of the days. We're in the end of time. Now, when is that? Am I saying it's next month? No. Am I saying it's next year? Am I saying it's the Mayan calendar's day of December 21st, 2012? No. But let me read to you what the scripture says. Jesus said this in Matthew 24. Take heed that no man deceive you, for many shall come in my name, saying, I am Christ, and shall deceive many, or I am God. And we've already got that. False prophets, false gods everywhere. I mean, anywhere and everywhere you turn. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that you be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdoms against kingdoms. And that's spiritual kingdoms. For instance, the Muslim, radical Islamic Muslim militant faith has risen up against Christians and Jews. Kingdom against kingdoms going on right now. They call it the Holy Jihad. And it's terrorism happening all over the world. Matter of fact, just what happened just in Uganda. When? Last week? When the Somali militants went in on the day of the World Cup final, blew up 2 different restaurants and killed something like 74 Somalis, or Ugandan people from Uganda. It was done by the Somali Muslim militants, a group called Al-Shabaab. We've got Hamas, we've got Hezbollah, the PLO, we've got Al-Shabaab, Al-Qaeda, Taliban. I mean, these groups are everywhere. Kingdom shall rise against kingdom. And there shall be famines. That's going on all over the world. 1/6 of the world don't even have water to drink. 20% of the world is in starvation. Pestilence, disease, overtaking major parts of Africa. AIDS is literally consuming the continent of Africa. And earthquakes, where in different places, diverse places, Washington DC, Haiti, I mean, Minnesota had a tremor, Canada had, all these are the beginning of sorrow. You know, I tried my best to get this done within 3 or 4 minutes. It's a 7-minute video. People, it's getting serious. Are you ready to meet God? I'm Paul Begley. Make sure that you have your relationship with Jesus Christ correct. Okay? Let's do that. I'm Paul Begley reporting.